Alright, today's video we've got two new developer insights into Codename Frontiers, so we're going to get into it. We're going to start with the Combatant modifiers. So they're adding something called Banes, which are sort of interesting, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. The Meteor's Bane gives combatants the ability to launch solar projectiles that track but can be shot down. Shock will continuously build up a charge that will discharge on a single target within line of sight, and killing a unit with this Bane causes it to spread to others nearby. So let's look into it. As you see, the solar ones shoot out, and they shoot them. I mean, makes sense, relatively sense. There are low tier ads in this video, so kind of easy to kill. As you saw, it does like a little shockwave. It doesn't really show it. I mean, it damages them, but it's not a lot of damage, so obviously higher tier stuff should logically do more damage. I don't know for sure. We'll see. But if it's only low tier ads that can get these, it's kind of trash because you'll kill them quicker than they can activate these abilities. But that's just my opinion on it. We'll see. Here are sneak previews of others in development. Banes we are working on. All are still in development, subject to change. Berserk. Killing combatants with Berserk causes other combatants nearby to enrage. So let's check this out. As you see, he's got the purple on its head. He shoots it. You see there's like an effect over their heads. If you look right here, there's an effect. It's really hard to see, but there's an effect over all their heads. And they kind of run at you, but I mean, it's definitely them running at you. There's definitely like a berserk mentality, but it's so slow. It's like the slowest I've ever seen something run at somebody for any game for a berserk mentality. Personally, don't think that's good at that level. Hopefully they increase it where it's more aggro, because so far of the three we've seen, this one is the best. I feel like the solar one is just stupid. The arc one is, well, you can kill the ads before it matters, but this one actually messes with you if you kill it. So it actually is a negative, you shouldn't kill it type thing, but you have to kill it so you can move on, so it's kind of a win-loss situation. So personally, this one right off the bat I like. But those ads need to be more aggressive, more crazy. They were just so slowly running at you, so yeah, not really good on that part. Punchable, combatants are immune to all range damage and damage from status effects until they are hit with a melee attack. If charge melees work against this ain't going to be very overpowered. If charge melees don't work, it has to be an actual melee. This will definitely be a risk-reward situation. But as you see, immune, immune, immune. No damage. Can't do anything to them. So, we actually see here charge melees do work, so. And then it kills them because it, just a shoulder charge, so. Basically, melee nat. So this could be a win-loss situation depending on it. But if thrown melees work as well, like smoke, throwing knife, and all that, then it really won't matter. It'll be you just throw a melee and it's fine. So it's kind of a pointless one. And harder in content, you just throw on a long range melee and you have no issue. So low end content really won't matter because it don't ever matter. So nuclear, once a unit of the nuclear bane receives low health, or reaches low health, sorry, it begins an arming sequence. If the unit is not defeated before the sequence completes, it explodes a massive fiery shockwave. So let's check this out. As you see, it starts to explode, or charge up and explodes. It looks like it might have damage resist, maybe. Does good damage, so it looks cool. By far, could be useful. I mean, basically, it literally brings them to one tap. So this could be useful, maybe. But if it doesn't have some sort of damage resist, like hardcore damage resist, then you're going to kill it way before it even detonates. Every time. So it's it's a gimmick, not useful in any sort of format. In my opinion. Because you're going to focus these things because they're going to be annoying. Plus, if it's far back like that, the shockwave has range, but it's not ridiculous. So if you're sitting back like a nightfall or something, it's not going to hit you. Unless it actually aggressively gains a damage resist, like a hardcore damage resist, and runs in a straight line at you, it's kind of a pointless thing. It's just a gimmick. It's not going to make the game harder in any sort of format. So, I don't know. Well, we'll see, but I don't really see these as being that overpowered. The Berserk one's the only one I see potentially good, and that's if they make it where it actually runs quicker and comes straight at you type thing. So, other than that, I don't think any of these are really worth it. I think these are really bad gimmicks. I get Bungie's trying to do some, and I do think they're on the right track, but they need to put more oomph on it. There's no threat of an ad that sits back and explodes like in the nuclear one. There's literally no threat of this. This ain't a threat. So unless it covers the entire map, which would be crazy, and the only way to make it well, not balanced, but actually threatening, sorry. To make it threatening is if it covers the entire area. So if it doesn't do that, it's not threatening. And if it doesn't have a damage resist, you're just going to kill it instantly anyway, so it doesn't matter. Punchable. Again, not really a threat because it's only one ad that's immune, and all you have to do is throw a thrown melee at it. So it's not really hard. Unless it requires you to physically run up and melee it, it's not a problem. Which then all you have to do is kill all the other ads, and then once this one's left alive, you melee it. Or it'll come running at you and you melee it that way. So it's not really a threat either. It's more of just an extra immune shield that has no purpose. So not really thrilled about that one. Like I said, Berserk potentially is the best one because if you kill it, it's a negative effect, but it's a positive because you need to kill it because it's an enemy. So you basically have to kill the ads around it before you kill it. So it actually requires a little bit of brain power. Still not that great, especially because things don't do anything but run in slowly at you, so not really threatening. They might have died in the video, but it was not very threatening. It was laughable. Meters and shock. The meters one's a joke as well. I mean, it might catch you off guard sometimes, and that's about the only way it'll fuck you up. Otherwise, it's pretty much a joke. Same thing with the shock one. I get they're probably going to put these on higher tier enemies as well. It's not just going to be low tier, but I don't know. I still don't see this as being a great system. They're just all basic. There's got to be more oomph on them. They got to put more design to them. It's just a basic ability. The arc one is literally just a thunderclap from the Titan, which you can easily avoid. Even if you can't avoid it here, again, you can kill it usually before it even does it. And I'm pretty sure there will be ways to avoid it, like a wall and stuff. It does say line of sight, so. And the shock one, you can get to hit the wall, or you can just shoot out of the sky real quick, which takes 2 milliseconds. So, I don't know what. I understand, personally. I know it sounds like I'm bitching. I do understand what they're trying to do. They're just not putting oomph on it. I don't know why, but that's the biggest problem with Bungie right now, is they're so afraid to put oomph. It's like they don't want to make it so overpowered it's scary. They want to make it where, oh, look, a tiny inconvenience that takes it less than a millisecond to deal with. And to me, that's stupid. Why even put this in if you're not going to actually put it in? And that's just my opinion on it. It's like, could you imagine going into a boss fight where a boss could shoot solar things constantly? Oh, wait, they already have that. Not that much of an inconvenience. Easy ways to bait it. You can shoot them out. Don't matter. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I know it seems messed up, but that's the truth to it. None of these are very scary. The Berserk is the scariest one. And it's only if it actually has all the ads aggro you super fast and they have damage resist. Like, that's the first thing. Everything here needs to have damage resist. The moment these perks proc or they have Bane on them, they should have a high damage resist. Extremely high damage resist. Because then it's scary. Because you know you have to focus it because it's just going to pop abilities. The nuclear one ain't going to be a problem because it's most ads sit back. Very few ads actually run at you. So it's going to be a pointless one. Unless it covers the entire battlefield, then it'll be good. But again, if it doesn't have a damage resist, you can kill it easily. So there's so many AoE guns in the game now, they just have huge area of effect destruction. So you can kill it around a wall as long as there's an ad next to it, so it's pointless. There's also Rift, Well, Titan shields that block all damage from going through them if you're behind it. You have everything. Like, the only thing that goes through that is splash damage, but this ain't a splash damage, so this won't count as splash, at least because of the way it works, so. Yeah. Personally, I don't think this is good. I think, yeah, I get they tried, but they're at a point in a game, in this game's life, where trying is not going to do anything. Trying is like saying, oh, I tried for the fucking title of fucking, or I tried for the marathon to win it. I tried so hard, but it's my 1,000th run at it. At 1,000 runs, you should be able to at least get top 5. Okay, like, I get it's hard to get first, but flip me, 1,000 runs of the marathon you've done. Well, obviously, it's not that many it's happened, but you know what I mean? Like, that's my point. If you've done it a fuck ton and you're getting this same place or getting worse placing, which is what's going on with Bungie right now, you're getting worse placing, it's kind of bad. You should be getting better, not worse. Now, obviously, once you hit a certain age, in this analogy, you would be getting worse. For the most part. Some stay good for a long time, some don't. But that's my point. Bungie's getting an older company, they're getting new talent, everything in. They should be getting better at the game, not designing the game, not worse at designing the game. And that's the problem right now. We're dealing with the same issue. They're putting gimmicks in the game just like Champions were, which were pointless gimmicks that do nothing. And that's the thing. I just don't I don't like this personally. I don't think it's worth a shit. I think it's half-assed, like a lot of things have been in the last several years. It is literally them throwing something together for 2 minutes and saying it. And people are like, oh, but it's early access, it's not done yet. Yeah, but 2 of them are coming out next season. That's less than 2 weeks away. And we're getting 2 of them. And they look like shit. They're a joke. They say they want to make it challenging. That's literally what they talk about here. Look, Liz, look. We're gonna read the problem now. I want to talk about that before we read these. So they say the problem. Today in Destiny, playing the same PvE activity repeatedly can feel like a chore, particularly when chasing a reward or following a narrative. Running through the latest exotic mission the second, third, and fourth time doesn't feel fun enough to justify the time spent. Eventually, you know when each enemy spawns, where to find them, or where to fight them, and how to win without any challenge. This is a component of Destiny 2 we want to greatly improve with Codename Frontiers, keeping activities fresh and challenging each time you run them. The solution: improve the experience of replayable activity content by adding variety and unpredictability to each playthrough. Okay, I'm sorry, but this is not how you add unpredictability. You want to add unpredictability. How about GMs that change the enemy type constantly? There's unpredictability, because you don't know which one you're going to run into. So you don't know if you need barriers, champion, or anti-barrier, overload, unstoppable, something like that, because you don't know. It's completely random. Nightfall, strikes. That's how you get it. Like D1 had. It had variety for the same strike. It wasn't a ton of variety, but there was variety. D2 has none of that anymore. I think it did at the beginning. I think a couple of the strikes had different variants, but now it doesn't. None of them do. It's all the same enemies over and over again. And this is not variety. Making it where, ooh, a combatant now can shoot laser beams out of its eyes. Ain't variety. Which is the arc one I'm calling laser beams, even though it's not really laser beams. But still. Solar balls. We've seen all of this. This isn't new. This isn't challenging stuff. This is a joke. Ooh, it shoots a lightning bolt at me. Let me just step to the side behind the wall, then I can't get hit. Let me stand behind a Titan shield, can't get hit. It's not challenging. Challenging would be, oh, okay, you want to use these abilities. Okay, their abilities charge super fucking quick. And there's more than one Bane enemy. There's 40, 50 of them at a time coming at you, constantly throwing solar, arc. Fuck, in this case, there's only solar and arc for the first 2. We'll just say solar and arc constantly. Balls coming out of every fucking angle. You want to make something harder, Bungie? Make it harder. Make more ads with more chaos. Because as you see here, they say somewhere here there's only a couple. Let me find it. Here we go. So, they talk about making it harder, but here we go. Or making it more challenging. But yeah, here we go. Destiny 2 has added modifiers to activities since the launch of the first Nightfall. Who else remembers trying to blah blah, who cares? With Codename Frontiers, we're investing more than ever in our modifier system to improve the fun and challenge in activities. We are creating combatant-focused modifiers that change the way players approach combat on every playthrough. Banes, enemy modifiers, and combat modifiers. Well, Banes don't change anything. Period at the moment. There's not enough of them. Designing modifiers so that they can combine to create a wide variety of experiences. Okay, again, not really making challenge. Reduce barriers to entry and time to fun by reducing the number of build crafting necessary modifiers and replace them with new combat modifiers. Not really seeing it here. Then we got the Banes, which we went through. Enemy modifiers. Well, Banes will appear intermittently as individual units, on individual units. Enemy modifiers are used to change base aspects of all enemies in an activity. Adjust your strategies to account for an active enemy, sorry, I have a scratch there, that was weird. Enemy modifier. Or you may end up flat-footed when something unexpected happens. For example, under a certain enemy modifier, Shipping and Revenant, some enemies may have copied some tricks about booby-trapping their drops from a famous Scorn Baron. Basically, if they drop special ammo, it's not real special ammo, it's a bomb! Dude, that was cool for the first 5 minutes when they added that, but then everyone expected it. Well, everyone knew once you killed certain Scorn, because they looked a certain way, they drop it. And even if they make it completely random, people are going to catch on eventually. As in, like, the first 2 days after it comes out, they're going to figure it out. It's not a crazy thing. It's not, oh my god, look, the loot's fucking a bomb. Let me just shoot it. Like, hello? What? Plus, they sound different, actually. I remember there was a sound cue whenever it dropped. They make a different sound when they hit the ground than every other item did. That's how you knew they were a bomb. So if Bungie stays with that, which this is Bungie, they're lazy, so they would have stayed with that, more than likely. So we'll know exactly which ones are the bombs, which ones aren't. For those that have sound on, that is. And for those that don't, maybe it'll scare them for a while, but even then, they'll start getting paranoid and start checking everything. So after 2 days, it's a joke. So we've got Banes that will intermittently on individual will appear intermittently on individual units, which means if you have the Solar Bane, it's only going to be on one enemy at a time. At least that's what I'm getting from this. And even if it's on a few enemies, this is Bungie. They're not going to put on 20 enemies, a fire and arc all over the place, which is dumb because that's what they should do. These could be decent if the balls traveled way faster, were way scarier, because they're not. You can shoot them out of the sky and they travel so fucking slow. That was the slowest I've seen balls travel. Hell, the boss ones are faster, and they're still slow. So not only do you have slow bombs, and then an arc thing that takes 10 years to charge, that you can more than likely kill the enemy before it charges. But it's line of sight, so you easily can just hide around a corner and it can't touch you. Peek shoot him. If he is a higher tier ad. So, I'm sorry, but these aren't to make it more of a challenge. These are more to make it an inconvenience. Because it's not even an inconvenience. It's just something extra. It's like, oh, look, it's literally champions. Champions have no purpose in the game. There is no actual reason for them. They have no sense. It takes 2 milliseconds to kill any champion. They're a joke. At first, yeah, it was new, unique, and it was cool, but then everyone realized how boring and dumb and simple they were. The most challenging part of a champion was the fucking bugs with them, which they fixed most of the bugs with them, so now there's no challenge at all. They're just a joke of an entity. They're just any other fucking ultra-level boss, or major ultra, whatever they call them. They're nothing. They're just a joke to kill, even in GMs. So this is going to be the same thing. Whether it's on low-end combatants, high-end combatants, or whatever, it's a joke. It's an extra ad that you shoot, and it's just going to be considered an ad. Nobody's going to be like, oh my god, he's shooting solar bombs at me, I'm going to die! Oh wait, they're across the room moving at 1 mile per year. I know I'm ranting, but that's my point. This is not fixing the problem. This is just stupidity still. This is the champion system all over again, because there's no actual difficulty to it. They wanted to make this actually worth a shit. 30, 40 fucking ads in front of you, 90% of them have fucking abilities. So you've got balls coming from every fucking angle at once. They're fast as fuck. The more of them that they shoot off, the faster they get. Yeah, sounds like a pain in the ass to deal with. That's how you make challenge. That's step one of making challenge, where there's just so much going on, it's so much time, so often, it's so hard to deal with and survive. Make it chaotic, not fucking, oh look, one extra ad that's shooting, oh look, slow moving bombs at me, oh they're so adorable, pew, 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 gone. Oh, now I can shoot him, oh wait, I can shoot him before those bombs get to me. I could kill that ad, then kill the bombs. That's how long they take. And then they can hit a wall and blow up by accident. That's hilarious. They could be coming at you because you go around a corner just right, it hits the corner of the wall, blows up, and it's useless. You know, maybe make it go through the wall at that point. That'd be better. Hell, that'd be a lot better, at least. Even in its current state, if it could go through walls, would make it a lot better. I know it's a rant, but it's the truth. These are not actual adjustments for hard difficulty. These are just lazy fucking designs to make it look like they're trying to do something. And I'm sorry for the developers that did work on this, because you know what? I'm pretty damn sure at this point, from what we've seen, they want to do a lot more, and they're not allowed to because the Bungie higher-ups are money-grubbing pieces of shit, slowly leaking out content to make us buy it, so that way they get money slowly over time. Because they don't care. They're just dumb. I don't know how else to put it. They're dumb, and it's obviously dumb because all the choices they make. And this is just proving it still. I believe it's not the people that are actually developing this, doing all the hard work. I don't think they're at fault here. I'm not blaming them when I say this is trash. I blame the higher-ups. Because I've seen some of the designs people have made. They've showed the designs off they wanted to make. And they weren't allowed to make. We saw that with Strand. We saw that with other things. It's a lot of cool shit that's been scrapped. Because the higher-ups said, no, sorry, we don't want to do it. It's too much money. Even though it'll make us a ton more money. It's too much money. We won't be lazy and trash. So yeah, I know I'm ranting, but that's the truth. And I'm making my point there of that rant because I want people to understand I'm not yelling at the fucking people developing this. I'm yelling at the people in charge. Because it's ridiculous. How do they let this shit go on? And if this ain't the higher-ups, if this is the most people did, then yeah, I'm sorry, but this is bad. This is not creative at all. There should be unlimited amount that can spawn, a crazy number that can spawn. So many that's fucking crazy hard to deal with them. Not, one or two here and there once in a while. Oh, wow, so scary. Shoots bombs at me that I can shoot out of the sky. I know I've been saying the same thing, but that's my point. This is the truth. The game of the truth. And yes, I get they're casual gamers. I get y'all like, oh, that's not fair to us. Then don't go for a GM. Stay the fucking normal Nightfall. Stay the fucking strikes, okay? This should be fucking... This level should be strikes. Better versions on crack should be GMs. And what I say should be a fuck ton of them, that should be GMs. People are like, oh, it's an early beta, though. They're early testing. I'm sorry, but if I was early testing this shit, I would go hard on this shit. I'd make it so hard it'd be almost impossible, then dial it back. Because it's obvious it's a problem. Not, oh, let's add nothing and say we're adding something, okay? That is the difference from a hardcore perspective to a lower tier perspective. Lower tier, casual, yeah, this type of shit will maybe be annoying to them. Maybe they'll be like, oh, it sucks. Or maybe they'll be like, oh, cool, unique, not really care. But even them, I think they will think this is boring and dumb and pointless. But the hardcore gamers, fuck yeah. Dude, I miss PvE when it was a fucking challenge, dude. Oh, wait, it hasn't ever been a challenge in this game. It's a joke. When you don't make a challenge in PvE, lower your light level. Contest mode is the only fucking thing that ever makes things a challenge for survivability. And that's it. It's not even the damage usually, it's your survivability ability. That's what stops streamers from doing day ones all the time for raids and not getting first place, is their survivability. Because of contest mode. So that tells you right there, that's step one of the thing. Half the shit's so easy, including GMs, because the enemies are so easy. It's a joke. Contest mode raids are the only thing that are still slightly hard. And it's not because of damage, it's just because there's a lot of ads and you're under light, so you take a lot more damage. And your damage is reductioned a little bit. I think that's what they did with the new changes or whatever. But even then, I enjoy fucking day one raiding. I think they're fun. I don't think they're that much of a challenge. The challenge is figuring out the mechanic. Once you figure out the mechanic, usually survivability goes pretty well once your team goes well. I mean, it depends on your team. If you've got a bunch of people that can't survive, then yeah, it's a problem. But if you got people that can, it's not. So, but even then, if this was in raids, this would be cool. But again, it would have to be a lot of them, not just a few of them. I don't think 100 or anything. But let's say the newest raid, Salvation's Edge, right? In the first encounter, first official encounter. Could you imagine each one of those small rooms had several arc guys that were instantly going off the moment you walked in, and a bunch of fire bombs that are coming at you while you're walking into the room? That would be hectic. Because not only do you got the snipers, you got the minotaurs, you got the ads shooting you. You've got these bombs coming out of nowhere in a small space, pre-fired. You got these arc shockwaves that are coming out of fucking nowhere, whacking you right in the face. That is more hectic. Still not that good, but still more hectic. Especially on day one, that would have been extremely hectic, because that'd been a pain in the ass to deal with. You'd come around, especially when you're first doing it, you'd be going in there, la 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 la, boom, motherfucker, surprise, bitch. But it can't just be one set of them, because one set's like, oh, okay, we know what to do now. We can focus them before we focus the rest, because they're the biggest threats. Oh, wait, bombs are still too slow, but even then, in a smaller room, the slower speeds would be okay. Bigger rooms, they're pointless, because they take 20 years to come to you, so... I know I'm fucking bitching about the same thing. I'm just saying, Bungie's too afraid to add what needs to be added, which is more. Oh, let's add a new mechanic, but let's make it very little, as minuscule amount as possible. Everyone will like that. No! Maybe the bots will. No offense to the bots, but that's my point. I'm a bot. I'm offended. I don't want that. I'm not literally offended. I'm just pissed, like, annoyed by this, that they think this is a challenge. Bro, have they ever done any other game? Hell, Warframe is more challenging on the higher end content. When you go hours, fucking 2 hours and fucking, what's it called, in the fucking, the hard mode stuff, dude, that shit gets hectic. Before, a long time ago, it used to get really fucking hectic. They dwindled it down a bit, but still. That stuff has more challenge than this game on crack. I know I'm bitching, but I'm just making a point. Modifiers aren't just about changing enemies, they can affect players too. Surge mods are a classic modifier type, has been used for years in Destiny ritual activities, but we've come to realize that too many forceful build crafting modifiers can become barriers for players. So we've been working on to create new modifiers that are more accepting of varied strategies and builds. More of these modifiers come. And this is the problem. That is part of that was actually the good thing they made. A modifier forcing you to use something different is a challenge. Because now you have to figure out how you're going to make better damage, better weapon damage, better DPS, better survivability, better everything than what you're used to. That was a good challenge that they're taking away. It limits people. You said you wanted to make it harder. If you want to make it harder, you bring a ton of fucking ads that have crazy abilities that are really quick activating, really crazy, and you make it where your damn player base can't come in with the most OP shit. If they want to do successful, make it where the OP shit don't do shit and the lesser OP shit do more. But still at the same time, still not do as much. That way it balances it out and allows you to be controlled. To make actual challenge success. That is 2 parts of a 4-part set. The other 2 parts don't matter right now because we're not talking about them. We're talking about 2 parts. FAQ, what about champions? Will they be using Banes too? Champions still exist in our future of modifiers, but they won't be hosting any Banes. This is the only way to make Banes good, is these fuckers to use them. Honestly, that's the truth to it. A champion that can shoot those fire bombs out, and you have to fucking break its barrier, or an overload that charges at you shooting non-stop for like a Vex one, and shoots out the fucking fire bombs, or has an arc thing. You know what? Both. It should use both at the same time. Shoots fucking its void splash high damage thing constantly while charging at you, teleporting around, shooting fucking solar bombs at you, and then shocking you, electrocuting you with the arc when it gets close. That would be fucking crazy. That's what there should be. That is exactly what there should be. Bungie, your champions need to be powerful. They suck right now. Banes are perfect for them. Give it to random ads. Give it to a few random ads. Give it to more. But the fucking champions. Could you imagine a Vex Overload Minotaur charging at your ass, teleporting around, and you're trying to stun that bitch, but he won't get stunned because he keeps teleporting through your shots. The most annoying shit ever. But now imagine that motherfucker's got the most overpowered shiver. When he gets close to you, he zaps you with arc, takes away all of your health, has solar bombs coming out of him every time he teleports. Boom, boom, boom. They launch at you. You're trying to shoot them, but you can't because you gotta shoot him so you can stagger him because he's constantly at you. That is how it should be. That is exactly what it should be. Not this lame ass shit that we're getting. That's exactly what it should be. Why the fuck aren't we getting this, Bungie? Bungie, no. Champions should have it. They should be cracked. That's how you make it more difficult. Still nowhere near what it should be, but a lot better than it is. Can Bane stack on an enemy? And only one Bane can be present on an enemy at a time, which is trash. It should be able to stack. Instant trash. If you want to make it harder or more scary, then put multiple on it. Otherwise, it's trash. They do say in Revenant, so hopefully they change that, but I doubt it. This is Bungie. People are going to complain these are too overpowered because people are trash, so. Yeah, that's right. I'm calling out people. I'm being an elitist, even though I'm trash, too, so. Are you replacing all the old modifiers with these new ones? No, we're trying to strike a balance of keeping the best of the old modifiers that work well with the new ones, but these new modifiers raise the bar enough that we will most likely start to retire the older ones over time. I said some of the old ones are really good. They really shouldn't do that. But this is Bungie. They always make the dumb mistakes. So that's the video. We'll make another one over the other part. But this is the first part, which is the what's it called? Combatant modifiers and more. I said my piece. I think this is dumb how they're doing it. I think their ideals. I do think these ideals are decent. They're just not doing what they should with them. They're not making them scary. They're making them inconveniently extra work. That's not even extra work because they're so easy to kill. Even if they put them on harder enemies, they're still not worth scary. The abilities are so easy to counter. It's ridiculous. And I get the casuals need to counter them, okay? But, you know, the harder end players are the people that want to play harder content, even if they suck at it, like me. I want it to be harder, not, oh, look, cutie pie, he's so cute, oh, he's shooting something at me, pew, 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 now he's not. Just saying, champions should be, 100% champions should have these, and they should be fucking boosted to insane levels. They should have both at the same time, and absolutely be charged. That's all I'm saying. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment what you think. Do you think the game is already too hard? Are you one of those casuals that think it's too hard? Or do you think this will make it too hard? Slowly bombs moving at you? Do you think that's too hard? Or do you actually think, oh, this is stupid too? And let me know in the comments. I'm okay with each. I don't hate the casual. I just like harder stuff personally. I think the casuals should have their playlist, and those players that want to play harder shit should have their playlist. That's my opinion. There should be 2 separate ones. Then this stuff should be on crack on the harder one. That's my opinion. If you agree with it, cool. If you don't, that's cool too. Who gives a fuck? But let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. Y'all have a good day. We out. We're trying to get to 400 before the end of the year subscribers. We're like 395-ish away. I've lost count, I forget. But so please subscribe if you do enjoy. I'd appreciate it. Like and subscribe as always. You have a good day. We out. Adios. Thanks for watching.